It is just a staggering statistic. Every 36 minutes, an American child is diagnosed with cancer.
Well, it is a terrifying disease. There is still plenty of hope as treatments continue to advance. There's also ways you can get involved in the fight against childhood cancer. Joining us to continue this conversation right now is Kevin Reilly, a board member with Hyundai Hope on Wheels, and Raynie Clark, a 12-year-old cancer survivor. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. It's our pleasure.
Oh. Thank you for having us here.
Kevin, let's start with you. What is Hyundai Hope on Wheels?
Well, Hyundai Hope on Wheels was founded 26 years ago with a simple mission, and that was to put an end to pediatric cancer. And how we do this is every time a Hyundai is sold, Hyundai dealers and Hyundai Motor America put their money together. And that money goes to Hyundai Hope on Wheels to fund pediatric cancer research grants all across the nation. This year alone, we'll donate $26 million in pediatric cancer research grants, bringing our lifetime total to $250 million.
Just amazing. Raynie, we're going to bring you into the conversation in just a second to talk about your story. But Kevin, I wanted to ask you, what changes have you seen in the fight against pediatric cancer? And why is this research so critical?
Well, it's a great question, and we've seen a lot of changes over the 26 years. Most encouraging is the survival rate. Survival rates are going up, but I know for Raynie and myself and everybody at Hyundai Hope on Wheels, we won't stop until that survival rate is at 100%. But I can tell your viewers that the two obstacles that we face are awareness and funding. And so we certainly appreciate the opportunity to share our story with you today, because the more awareness we create, the more funding we get. And the more funding we get, we can pass that to researchers who can unlock cures for pediatric cancers and save young lives.
Raynie, let's chat with you now. Will you please tell us about your battle against cancer and why it's important for all of us to help?
So, when I was 6 years old, my mom took me to the doctor because my energy was low. She thought I had strep throat. Soon after my vitals crashed, I was airlifted to a children's hospital where I was treated for 2.5 years. And why I think it's important for people to help is so that we can get the survival rates all the way up to 100, and no one gets told that your kid has cancer or you have cancer, or just like a close friend or family. And I just think that, and so we can get more money and donate to research so we can, yeah.
That's the goal. Raynie, for somebody who's so young, I mean, only 12 years old, can you describe what that experience was like for you, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and it was kind of hard because you don't really understand it at a young age, but throughout those 2.5 years, it got more that I realized what was happening, and now, as I am 12 years old, it got me more to a point where, like, I understand it and I want to help other kids who are fighting pediatric cancer.
And now you're sharing your message, Raynie. That's so brave to be and strong to be able to do. How else can people provide support for children fighting this tough battle, Kevin?
Well, I think, I would encourage your viewers to go to HyundaiHopeOnWheels.org and learn what we're doing to put an end to pediatric cancer. And it's, many and varied ways. So certainly donations certainly help when there's an opportunity to donate on the site. But certainly go to social media and raise awareness. Call your local politician and find out what we can do as a nation to provide more funding for pediatric cancer research. Because most people don't realize, but in terms of funding from the government for pediatric cancer research on a percentage basis is extremely low, probably only about 4%. And so that's where Hyundai Hope on Wheels comes in, and we provide those research grants to researchers to unlock cures and save lives, like the wonderful individual I have with me here today, our National Youth Ambassador, Raynie.
So, Kevin, most of the funding comes from private organizations or nonprofits then for this research?
Yeah, so the way we fund this is as I said, every time a Hyundai is sold, Hyundai dealers and Hyundai Motor America, we put our money together, and that goes to Hyundai Hope on Wheels. And that is predominantly the source of funding that will fund the $26 million in grants. But with each passing year, we're giving individuals like your viewers out there the opportunity to donate. So we hope that segment will grow over time. We can donate even more to researchers.
That funding helps fund that research, which hopefully will lead to a cure. Kevin, thank you for your time this morning. Raynie, you as well. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.
Yeah, 12 years old.
And she got it at 6.
Got it at 6. And that's just one example of a lot of kids that are out there that are facing It's really difficult and hard disease, you know, and trying to understand what that diagnosis means, you know, all the medical appointments and the treatments. And, you know, Raynie is obviously brave enough to share her story and what she went through, hoping that it will make a difference and using the power and the voice that she has to get people to donate money to continue to do that research. And yeah, hopefully we will get that cure someday.
Yeah, you can help too by getting involved.
That's right.
That's great.